From Daily Trust News Center, this is the News Hour.
Tonight on News Hour, National Stadium agog as PDP holds special national convention to elect its presidential candidate in Abuja. APC postpones presidential primary to June 6th. Police confirm 31 dead in Rivers Church stampede. Away from Nigeria, Russian forces capture strategically important town of Lehmann in eastern Ukraine. Hello and welcome to the News Hour on Trust Television. I am Ayuba Ilya. Thank you for joining. And now the news in details, beginning with political stories. Over 800 delegates will decide the fate of People's Democratic Party PDP presidential aspirants at the ongoing special convention of the party in Abuja. 15 aspirants have been screened for the contest. 3 aspirants have withdrawn from the race, leaving the contest to 13 contenders. Sokoto State Governor Aminu Tambuwal is the latest to step down from the race. PDP National Chairman Iyorchia Ayu blamed the nation's woes on the ruling APC.
Elections that followed, we swept the polls in their entirety. If in the end we were forced to share our electoral wins with the ruling APC, it is because we believe INEC failed its independence test. But it also means we must continue to awaken the electoral empire to its sacred duty of impartiality. And we have done fairly well in the by-elections that have held across the country. If we competed on level playing grounds, if INEC were resistant to external pressures, and if security agents did not militarize some of the election environments, your great party, the PDP, Nigeria's only organic party, would have done much better. But the by-elections serve as a very important point. They are a referendum on APC's misrule. The outcomes of the elections show that Nigerians want us back to power. And the reasons are obvious. Nigeria is now both the poverty capital of the world. Also, Nigeria is the 3rd most terrorized country. The economy has collapsed. Government now prints or borrows money to pay salaries.
Now, let's now join our correspondent who is right now at the Moshood Abiola Stadium, Shafiu Suleiman, for live update as regards what's happening at the moment. Hello, Shafiu. All right, Shafiu, if you can hear me, just give us a brief of what's going on right now as we are seeing.
A window for delegates, that is the 767 delegates across.
Okay, so Shafiu, earlier we understand that there are like more than 800 delegates that will be coming for this convention. Now we're seeing the number dropped to a little above 700. What exactly happened? Initially, we had over 800, I think about 811 delegates that were to come for these primaries. Now we've seen that the number has dropped from that. What do you think happened?
It is not going to consider the statutory delegates. That is not even possible. The fact that the president hasn't assented to the amendment to Section 8.
Would have decided to step down from the race. We know that the governor of Sokoto is one of those, but who are the other people, if you can shed some light? That have stepped down from the race, and whether or not, like in the case of the governor of Sokoto State, he's stepping down for the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar. What about the others that have stepped down? What do we know so far about theirs?
Into negotiations or to go into consensus arrangement. Perhaps that's the reason why the governor of Sokoto State, set the stage for that, withdrawing his candidate, his aspiration, as he said, in favor of the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar. We perhaps expect to see more of this as the, voting progress. So the option for consensus might have been closed, but as it is, no one will say clearly whether there could be other aspirants who will be interested in withdrawing their aspiration in line with the consensus.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Shafiu, for that update. We'll be connecting back to you later for more updates as we continue to show the PDP presidential primaries ongoing at the Moshood Abiola Stadium. Now, moving on, the All Progressives Congress has postponed its special convention for presidential primary for the 2023 general elections from May 29 to June 6. National Publicity Secretary of the APC, Felix Moka, announced this in a statement hours after the Independent National Electoral Commission extended the deadline for the parties to conduct their primaries. INEC announced the extension of the deadline for political parties, rather INEC has announced the extension of the deadline for political parties to conduct their primaries by 6 days on Friday evening. The Commission had initially announced a deadline of June 3rd from the presidential primaries. The extension of the deadline covers the 6-day period between June 4th and 9th. Meanwhile, 6 out of the 7 aspirants for the Niger State House of Assembly under the platform of the All Progressives Congress and their supporters from Bako local government area on Saturday stormed the state party secretariat to protest alleged alteration of delegates list. One of the aspirants, Mohammed Pichuko, said that primaries was not conducted but a winner was declared after the exercise was postponed on Thursday when violence broke out in Lemu, the headquarters of the local government where the exercise was billed to hold. The protesters called for justice and fair play by giving all aspirants the opportunity to participate in the primaries. Meanwhile, gunshots were reportedly fired in early hours of Saturday at the Niger State All Progressives Congress Secretariat, venue of the primaries of the House of Representatives for Chachanga constituency.
Never came to us, the headquarters. They got to the headquarters around 5 p.m. And when they came, we actually requested from them on the issue of list of delegates. They refused giving us because of their hidden agenda. All of a sudden, the electoral officer told us that the elections are going to hold. He's going back to the party office because of the tension there. He's going back to the party office in the state, Mina. We were waiting for them and he told us the election is going to be the next day. We now later heard that around 10 p.m. or before then, my agent, in person of Ahmed Abdullahi Mohammed, was beaten to hell and was taken to the hospital. I was in the hospital while we had that around 1 p.m., 2 p.m. They came to the party and declared Mayaya as the winner of the election. So as far as we are concerned, we were not carried along and there was no party election in Bako local government.
At the end of the day, they now said the election is postponed. Then we should come to Mina early 6 o'clock so that we conduct the election. Reaching Mina in the midnight, 12, we just heard that the election has been conducted. By who? They said they don't know. It was by the state treasurer, the party chairman, and one of the aspirants. Without the notification of other 6 aspirants, we have 7 aspirants, 5 for the member state House of Assembly in Bako local government. But the election was conducted in the office of the state treasurer, liaising with party chairman of the local government, without notification of other aspirants.
Now, winners have emerged from APC primaries seeking to represent the party in National Assembly. While some serving lawmakers win tickets to return, the 10th Assembly will be without some prominent members. The report.
In Jigawa, 6 of the current House of Representative members have succeeded in clinching the tickets of the All Progressives Congress to run in the upcoming general elections, while 4 others failed to get a return ticket. One federal constituency was declared inconclusive. Winners and losers also emerged during the All Progressives Congress APC primary elections for the lower chamber of National Assembly held on Friday at 11 federal constituencies in Jigawa State. The minority leader, House of Representatives Alhassan Ado Dogwa, clinched the ticket of the All Progressives Congress to contest in the 2023 general election. Dogwa, who is representing Dogwa Tudunwada Federal Constituency in Kano State, got the ticket after winning the party primaries to represent his constituency for the 7th time. President Muhammadu Buhari's aide on new media, Bashir Ahmed, failed to secure the All Progressives Congress tickets to contest the House of Representatives seat for Gaya, Ajingi, Albasu Federal Constituency, Kano. Ahmed was defeated by the incumbent member, Abdullahi Gaya, with 109 to 16 votes. Meanwhile, Umar Ganduje, son of the governor of Kano State, Abdullahi Ganduje, won the APC ticket to contest the seat of Dawakin Tofa, Rimingado Federal Constituency in the House of Representatives. The incumbent chairman of Abaji Area Council in the Federal Capital Territory, Alhaji Abdulrahman Ajia, has won the All Progressives Congress ticket of the House of Representatives for Abuja South Federal Constituency. Abdulrahman Ajia scored 99 votes, Alhaji Musa Yahya Muhammad 81 votes, Alhaji Kamal Adamu Shuaibu 18 votes, while Sadiq Lawal Abubakar got 0. The current member representing Jalingo, Yoro, Zing, Megari Bello Kasimo has secured the All Progressives Congress ticket for the 2023 elections. He got 12,032 votes out of 22,369 valid votes to beat 3 others in a keenly contested direct primaries held in Jalingo. Other aspirants include Mahmoud Abdul Mumini, who got 4,591 votes, Nuruddin A. Ibrahim got 3,262, while Aminu Ibrahim Malay got 2,484 votes. Senator Danjuma Goje has succeeded in getting a return ticket for the Gombe Central Senatorial District. Goje beat Abubakar Habu Muazu and Idris Umar to clinch the ticket. In Nasarawa State, the Speaker House of Assembly Ibrahim Balarabe Abdullahi won the All Progressives Congress APC primary election for Umesha Ugia State constituency unopposed. Balarabe Abdullahi, who is seeking a third term, secured all votes from the 30 delegates from Umesha Ugwa constituency. From Kebbi State, the Governor Atiku Bagudu defeated Senator Adamu Alero to clinch APC Kebbi Central Senate ticket. In the South, the Deputy Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly, Honorable Wasiu Eshilokun, has won the Lagos Central Senatorial primary election. Eshilokun polled 185 votes out of 304 votes, while Ambassador Ademola Seriki polled 97, Akpatite 22 votes, and Honorable Oyinlomo Damole polled no vote. Lagos West Senator Solomon Olamilekan Adiola also won the APC ticket of Ogun West Senatorial District for the 2023 election. Adiola polled 294 votes to defeat his main rival, an incumbent senator representing the zone, Tolu Odebiyi, who scored 0. In Edo State, former national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Adams Oshomole, clinched the Edo North senatorial ticket of the party. The former Edo State governor scored 309 votes to pick the ticket, while his opponent, Senator Francis Alimikena, polled 5 votes, even though he had withdrawn from the contest. Betty Akeredolu, First Lady of Ondo State, who is contesting the All Progressives Congress primary election in Imo West, was chased out of the party's secretariat in Imo on Saturday. The Ondo First Lady, who hails from Imo, had led her supporters to the secretariat to protest the consensus option adopted by the party in choosing its candidate for the 2023 election.
They asked somebody, all the aspirants, to step down for one, I don't know whether to say unpopular, because he just collected his form maybe 3 days ago.
What is his name now?
Who is this person?
Please, I don't know.
Okay.
Other aspirants that will be campaigning, spending their money, they forced them to step down, and they did so with anger. You need to see the video of these other aspirants.
Now, the former Commissioner of Budget and Planning, Kaduna State, Sani Dattijo, has been declared winner of the All Progressives Congress primary election for Kaduna Central Senatorial District. Announcing the results, the returning officer, Hafiz Bayero, says Dattijo, who emerged unopposed, got 388 votes. The report.
88, 89, 90.
The election was unopposed as 2 other contenders, Rabi Salisu and Dr. Usman Garba, had stepped down for Muhammad Sani Dattijo prior to the election. The returning officer, Hafiz Bayero, while declaring the results, says a total number of 396 voters were accredited from the 7 local government areas on the Kaduna Central Senatorial District, with 388 valid votes and 8 invalid votes.
Candidate number 1, Muhammad Sana Abdullahi, scored a total of 388 votes out of the 388 valid votes. Candidate 2, Usman Garba, withdrew his candidature before the commencement of this election. Candidate 3, Hajia Rabi Salisu, also withdrew her candidature for this election before the election started. So 388 votes were cast, 396 votes were cast, 388 were valid, and all 388 valid votes were in favor of Muhammad Sani Abdullahi. Now, with the power vested in me as the returning officer, I declare Muhammad Sani Abdullahi the winner, for having scored the highest number of votes cast, as the winner of the Kaduna APC Central Senatorial District primary election with 388 votes.
The winner of the election, Muhammad Sani Tiju, enjoined all members of the party to come together for the success of the party in the general election.
And we want to call on all party members across all divides. There are no more camps in Kaduna. Inshallah. There is no Obasani camp, there's no Datijo camp, there's no speakers camp, there's no camp. Inshallah. We are all united under one APC led by Governor Nasser Ahmed El-Rufai, and our focus from now henceforth till the day of election is to win this election. Our focus is to ensure that we continue to put Kaduna on the best footing and Nigeria on the best footing. Inshallah.
Tijo was Chief of Staff to Governor Nasiru El-Rufai and former Commissioner, Ministry of Planning and Budget in Kaduna State. Lami Sadiq, Trust TV News, Kaduna.
Former Governor of Zamfara State Abdulaziz Yari, Senator Kabiru Marafa and Senator Sahabi Ya'u have emerged Senate candidates of the All Progressives Congress APC for the 3 senatorial zones in the state. The 3 senatorial zones are Zamfara West, Central and North. The report.
The 3 candidates for the senatorial zones emerged unopposed as a result of the consensus which the party in the state had adopted based on the reconciliation of the 2 warring factions of the APC in the state. In a similar fashion, 6 out of the 7 aspirants for the House of Representatives clinched the APC tickets unopposed, except for Bongudumaru, where 3 aspirants contested with Abdul Malik Zanna, defeating 2 aspirants to win. Governor Bello Muhammad of Zamfara State, while addressing party faithfuls, supporters and stakeholders, urged them to vote massively for all the candidates of the APC who emerged during the primary elections in the state.
Tremendous opportunities for our women who is the sole candidate, polled a total number of 306 votes. I repeat, 306 votes. 306 votes. And therefore, in partial fulfillment of the requirement of our great party, the APC, and in line with the 2022 Electoral Act as amended, and in line with the provisions of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended, do hereby return Abdulaziz Yari and Shehu as Speaker to Zamfara West Senatorial District.
Former Governor of Zamfara State Abdulaziz Yari, who was elated for winning the primary election, thanked the delegates for voting him as the senatorial candidate of the APC Zamfara West. The primary elections for Senate and House of Representatives were monitored by INEC officials, security agencies, and the media.
At least 2 persons have been confirmed dead following violence that erupted at the venue of the House of Assembly primary of the All Progressives Congress in Alimosho area of Lagos. The deceased victims were identified as Muftau Ogunlaye and Surajo Dauda. while many others reportedly sustained varying degrees of injury. One of the viral videos of the incident, which occurred on Friday evening, showed people scampering to safety as gunshots rent the air. In another clip, a crowd rallied around a bloodied man who appeared lifeless. The police public relations officer in the state, SP Benjamin Hundein, told correspondents that the violence broke out after the results of the election were announced. And in Bauchi state government on Saturday imposed a 24-hour curfew following a civil unrest that erupted in the two affected communities of Lushi and Ungwan Kusu in Yelwa area of Bauchi metropolis. Chief of Staff to the Governor, Aminu Gamawa, and the Bauchi State Commissioner of Police confirmed the curfew to newsmen in the state. Adamu Imam was there and now reports.
According to the CP, the curfew will remain in force until the security situation has improved in the two affected communities. The CP, while calling for calm among the two warring groups, warned the public against breaching the curfew. Sanda also pledged to fish out the perpetrators and bring them to book to serve as deterrent to others.
Precisely around 6 o'clock in the evening when the tension started mounting, and it all started when a young man with his girlfriend passed by, and then some other persons just grabbed him on his way back after seeing his girlfriend off, and they started molesting him and attacked him with axes and what have you. So that is the genesis, and from there tensions began to mount, and we tried as much as possible to go around and cool tension, but then it was spontaneous, and this is the result. We have found ourselves, two persons have lost their lives.
The district head of Miri, Hussein Abubakar Uthman, who represented the Emir of Bauchi, enjoined both parties to embrace peace to ensure growth and development in the area.
People should be calm and come back to their senses, and to know peace has no maximum value. Whatever you spend in order to keep peace to reign is equal. So what we are calling people to adhere is to adhere to the law and to a habit whereby they will complain, their grievances or whatever they have seen, it is not good, they will take it, to the divisional police officer in Yelwa here, or to get any traditional ruler among them, because here we do have hamlets, they are here, and we do have the village head and the ward head, all they are around.
Some residents of the area who narrated their ordeal from the Yelwa crisis call on the government to find a lasting solution to the clashes to enable life without fear of molestation.
When we pursued them, there was a police that came, two of them, Ilos. They are the one that pursued them. Move. That is why I rescued my father inside.
Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
At least 31 persons have died in a stampede at a program organized by a Pentecostal church, King's Assembly in Port Harcourt, the River State capital. Police spokesperson Grace Iringe Okoko confirmed the casualty figure. The stampede, it was gathered, occurred at the Polo Club in Port Harcourt when a large crowd of people attempted to push through a smaller entrance. Reports say that guests began arriving the Polo Club as early as 6:30 a.m. for the event slated for 9 a.m., but met the gate locked. However, at about 8 a.m., some sportsmen arrived and opened a small entrance to have their training session, only for the crowd to see it as an opportunity to access the tent that was mounted by the church for the program. Families fleeing to safety from Nigeria's troubled northern region have settled in the nation's capital, Abuja. They say that they will not return home despite what they are going through in the federal capital. Nana Muhammad visited a settlement that houses some of these families and filed in this report.
Every night I have nightmares, thinking that the kidnappers will contact my home. I think about the night I was kidnapped. I can never forget that I heard gunshots, even though no one still lives in the village. I think of the life I had back then.
Faced with deprivation, they have found refuge in a small community in Pape called Durumi in Boari Area Council of the FCT. Durumi is about 100 kilometers drive from the city center. Here, they live in uncompleted buildings with no electricity and water supply. Most of these families cannot afford school fees and other basic human necessities like food, medicine, and shelter. 8 years ago, Amina Adam Shua fled from Damboa, a town in Borno State, with her 8 children. She left behind everything she has ever owned. She says she can never return home despite persistent calls from her extended family members who are still in Maiduguri.
I left our home when Boko Haram attacked my town. I and my family fled for safety. We moved to the capital city, Abuja, because we have nowhere else to hide or go. I ran away because I was afraid for my life and that of my children. If I had not escaped, I would have been killed and my boys forced to join the Boko Haram fighters. My daughters would have been forced to marry the Boko Haram commanders.
Just like Amina, Hassana Jibril, a middle-aged woman from a village in Gusau, Zamfara State, has also built a home in this small village.
I was chased out of my hometown by kidnappers and bandits. I fled with my husband to this village.
In 2020, her village was razed by bandits. Hassana says people no longer live in her village due to incessant killings and kidnappings. A village she loved and admired is no longer a home for her, her family, and friends. She said her life was easy in the village and she enjoyed her small community with friends, families, and familiar happy faces. Today, those lovely faces and the life she loved so much has been taken away from her. The irony of it all is the fact that she doesn't feel safe in her new home.
5 men with sophisticated weapons stormed my home, kidnapped me along with my daughter in the middle of the night.
In this small village, there are hundreds of families who have settled and have no intention of returning to their ancestral homes. Some of their villages no longer exist. Well, some of them say the trauma of what they have seen and been through before their escape is still stuck with them. Security of life and access to basic needs is posing a big question. Over the years, governments at home and international community have designed programs to cater for the needs of such displaced families. But for the families of Amina and Hassana, this help has not yet gotten to them, and they can only hope that they receive such help in the near future. Nana Muhammad, Trust TV News, Abuja.
President Muhammadu Buhari has called for more concerted and institutionalized efforts to ameliorate the suffering of refugees and internally displaced persons in Africa. The president made the call at the 16th African Union Extraordinary Session of Assembly of Heads of State and Government on Humanitarian Crisis in Africa and Pledging Conference holding in Malabo, Equatorial Guinea. President Buhari, who said only collective and coordinated approach will make a difference, stated that more than 5 million people had been displaced in the Lake Chad region, with 70% of them mostly Nigerians. President Buhari, in a statement from the Senior Special Advisor on Media, Garba Shehu, pledged $3 million for the establishment of an African Union humanitarian agency to cater for the growing needs of displaced persons and refugees.
As you are aware, Mr. Chairperson, the world is confronted by emerging threats such as climate change, resulting in global warming, rising levels of waters in some climes, shrinking rivers like the Lake Chad. All these lead to distortions in our aquatic and consequently ecological systems. Conflicts, violent extremism, and terrorist attacks, including herdsmen and farmers' clashes, and banditry led to the displacement of whole communities, thus rendering thousands of people homeless. Mr. Chairman, of the over 5 million internally displaced persons in the Lake Chad region alone, about 70% are estimated to be from Nigeria. And so, we cannot deny the fact that we have a very dangerous humanitarian crisis in our hands. This development calls for a collective and coordinated response from all of us. Government established internally displaced persons camps in every part of the country for refugees, returnee migrants, and displaced persons, where food, shelter, clothing, and medical care and other livelihood support are provided for all displaced persons. Nigeria will continue to support the agency, and so we pledge the sum of $3 million United States dollars in support of agency. Thank you for your attention.
Despite the challenges children face in the internally displaced persons camps in Nigeria, children in one of the IDP camps in FCT are optimistic that there will be light at the end of the tunnel. Maradia Umar, who visited one of the IDP camps on Children's Day, reports that the children still have a glimmer of hope.
Children's Day celebration is one of the most important days for children in Nigeria. Lack of quality education, discrimination, insecurity, climate change, among other factors, continue to affect the rights of children. In different IDP camps across the country, the challenges are glaring. While some children have lost hope, some still have the light of hope burning dimly. The prayer through the Protection and Domestication of the Child Rights Act in each state in the country will make them safe and have a healthy environment and development. However, some children celebrated their day attending parties. Well, in this internally displaced persons camp, children are oblivious to that. They're just waiting for the next person to bring in gift items for them. But deep inside, these children have dreams, hopes, and aspirations, as behind every face there's a name, and behind each name is a person that has desire.
I want to be a businesswoman because helping people, sharing something for them. On this Children's Day, I want the governor to help us.
I want to be a pilot like Tolulope, the one she died. And the reason why I want to be a pilot, then kill my daddy. That is all why. And I want to say Happy Children's Day. Thank you. I want to be a doctor because I want to be a doctor. Boko Haram killed the parents. I want to help out. I give us medicine.
Are there plans to achieve the dreams of the children? This woman resides at the IDP camp, a mother to one of these children. She speaks on how she's trying her best to ensure her children achieve their dreams.
One plenty pikin is one person go take the responsibility of all your family. Like now, it's only worry the mother born plenty children. Maybe only him now he carry all the Nigeria for his hands. So I believe that on those children, we get all those forces that they need by the grace of God.
She appealed for more support for the government in providing affordable and accessible education for the children.
For these children, life around the IDP camp is not so pleasant, but they are hopeful that they will become something great in future. Martia Umar, Trust TV News, Abuja.
You're watching the News Hour on Trust Television. Coming up shortly, a look at why people consume aphrodisiacs. Details and more after the break. Join. Thanks for saying. This is the News Hour on Trust Television. A reminder of our top stories again. National Stadium agog as PDP holds special national convention to elect its presidential candidate in Abuja. APC postpones presidential primary to June 6th. Now, moving on, the poor condition of operational vehicles of police in Ogun State has raised concerns because of how it negatively impacts on operations. Policemen at divisional level in the state often use their personal cars to carry out official duties and sometimes resort to using vehicles of complainants or suspects to address breaches to the law. Hamid Oyebade files in this report.
Peace and tranquility in society largely depends on efforts of law enforcement agents. The police is the leading agency in internal security. Osun State has 48 divisional police headquarters, 8 area commands, and many tactical teams, departments and offices at its headquarters that all require good vehicles to operate effectively. But the state command lacks functional vehicles, and in fact, policemen in the state hire commercial vehicles for patrol. This has limited their chances of effective operations in tackling insecurity. Well-meaning individuals normally help out with logistics, but beyond this, stakeholders believe it is the duty of federal and state governments to provide good vehicles for policemen to enable them perform their duties effectively.
But the ways and manner of they were maintaining their own vehicle too, they should know that it's government property, but they should not use it as a government property so that they can use it in any way they like. They should be able to have a maintenance culture.
The Commissioner of Police in the state, Wale Olokode, thanked the Inspector General of Police, Usman Alkali, for recently donating 5 vehicles to the Osun Command, and also expressed gratitude to the state government for assisting the command with other logistics.
We have 48 divisions and 8 area commands. Aside this, there are offices and tactical teams and operational teams. All these require vehicles, and today we are lacking in this. We don't have enough vehicles at all.
But beyond this, the state government has promised that it will keep supporting security agencies in the state to perform optimally.
The government is relating absolutely well with the security agencies. As a peace-loving governor who has the security, the safety of all the citizens of the state at heart, is relating well with the security agencies and is giving support as it is necessary.
The support given to the Osun State Police is commendable, but there is a need to be deliberate about addressing these concerns. After all, security is everyone's business.
Now, lately, commercials on libido-enhancing medications for men and women have inundated the airwaves as one rarely tunes to the radio, TV, or even takes an intra-city bus without marketers of these enhancers luring people to patronize them. This has led to a trend where people abuse medications that come in the form of pills, drinks, herbal concoctions, or sprays. Zainab Bala explores this area of human inclination and now reports.
We cook and filter it, then we put it in a bottle and sell it for our lovely Nigerians. If I told you are a human being, you are not a spirit. If we give you this herbal medicine, you take it, you will call us and tell us this your medicine is working.
The scrabble for pleasure is on. Sexual dysfunction. One major factor affecting both genders at some point in life can lead to sexual misunderstanding and stress between couples. There's also lack of understanding of the overall concept of sexuality and how to interpret partners' body language. The tension this creates has led to the development of a variety of medications to solve those issues. Some real and others a complex hoax from many who are merely aching out a living from the high demand of these enhancers.
The goodness of our herbal traditional medicine. People are always calling us and thank us for the goodness of our medicine.
I can't tell you the number of people who come to Baba Naisha for sexual enhancers. Not every man can stand by waiting for his wife to complain about his sexual inadequacies. We get hundreds of customers. Sometimes the rich even request to be delivered to their homes because our sexual herbs are 100% guaranteed. I buy sexual enhancers from Baba Aisha. I also buy herbs for sexually transmitted infections. The herbs work 100%.
On social media, promotional content on the subject matter bombard internet surfers, with many giving in due to the desire to live up to partners' expectation in relationships. These women are housewives living in a rented one-room apartment and are barely struggling to feed. But they say sexual enhancing concoctions are a must-have.
I take sexual enhancers to satisfy my husband. It is important to make your man happy. It's now rampant. Everybody uses it. My husband has applauded me severally for my zeal towards satisfying him. Sexual enhancers work effectively more than you know until you try it. If you use them, your husband might hand you his ATM card because of pleasure.
We have herbs to increase libido for both men and women. It's a long conversation that requires details. Infections are usually what deprives people from getting sexual pleasures. This is what people come here to get medications for.
This pharmacist advises people to opt for natural remedies rather than orthodox, since these enhancers have become part of the daily lives of many.
So, if you come to sexual enhancement drugs, it's not, to me, it's not too good to the health because it has a lot of side effects, and it can go a long way to destroy some of the cells in the body if you overuse it. I advise people to go on normal, natural remedy to boost up their immune system. Supplements, something that can, vegetable, vitamins, you eat something that can make you healthy so that whenever you want to go into sex, you do it naturally, not having something that can destroy your cells.
The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has recently raised alarm over the excessive use of sexual enhancing drugs, saying it may lead to stroke and subsequently death.
Zainab Bala, Trust TV News, Abuja.
The leadership of the Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics, ASUP, on Saturday directed its members to resume duty on Monday, May 30th, after the expiration of a 2-week strike embarked upon on May 16. National Publicity Secretary of ASUP, Abdullahi Yelwa, who announced this in Abuja at a press briefing, explained that the decision was reached at another National Executive Council meeting held to evaluate how their demands have been attended to. Yelwa Yelwa said 4 of their 9 demands have been met by the federal government, adding that the suspension of the warning strike was to give the concerned authorities a window and benefit of doubt to address other demands. He listed commencement of payments of arrears of the new minimum wage in all affected federal polytechnics as part of the demands that have been met, adding that isolated cases of underpayment and omissions are being handled at institution levels. The Federal Road Safety Corps is set to integrate its National Vehicle Identification System with that of the International Criminal Police Organization, Interpol. This, it says, will significantly reduce cases of car theft in the country due to a more robust vehicle identification system. Outgoing Deputy Corps Marshal Hyginus Fomsuk stated this at a valedictory lecture to mark his retirement from the Corps after 33 years in service.
Integrating the NBIS database of FRSC, which is for this nation, with the Interpol database. You must know that Interpol database has a record of stolen vehicles all over the world. So once we integrate it, like we have been able to recover stolen vehicles within the Nigerian society, we can also recover vehicles that are stolen outside and brought into the country, because when you come to register and such information are provided, and there is that interface, there is a cross-check to ensure that this is not a stolen vehicle that is brought into the country. And we advise that anybody who is buying a car, a vehicle, anywhere, either at a dealer's workshop, take due diligence to cross-check if there is such registration that exists on the national database, because it could be a stolen vehicle and sold to you. And when you want to register it, it will flag it up that it was registered to somebody, and then most times we have recovered, like I said, we've recovered such vehicles. And it has helped the country greatly, because these are innovations that never existed before.
And in business news, the African Guarantee Fund for Small and Medium-Sized Enterprises has launched a training and mentorship program for 80 youth-led startups and micro, small and medium enterprises in Nigeria. The Group Communications and Public Relations Manager, AGF Diana Aluga, made this known in a statement on Friday in Lagos. According to the statement, the program is supported by the African Development Bank's Youth Entrepreneurship and Innovation Multi-Donor Trust Fund. It added that the AGF was implementing the year-long training and mentorship series to provide capacity building, support and coaching to 80 youth entrepreneurs across the country. Away from Nigeria, Russia's military says it has taken the eastern Ukrainian town of Lehmann, a key railway hub in the Donetsk region. The capture could signal a shift in momentum in the Ukraine war. On Saturday, Russia also said it has successfully tested hypersonic missiles in the Arctic. The Defense Ministry said the Zircon hypersonic cruise missile traveled 1,000 kilometers and successfully hit a target in the Arctic. Taking control of Lehmann sets the stage for Russia to begin the next phase of its offensive in the Donbas region. At least 15 people have died in torrential rains across southern China, state media reported on Saturday. 8 died in 2 building collapses from landslides in Fujian province near China's east coast, while 5 others died and 3 were missing in Yunnan province, about 1,200 kilometers away in southwestern China. 2 out of the 3 children swept away by flood waters on Friday in Xinjiang died, while in Fujian, 5 victims were found in a collapsed factory building and 3 others in a collapsed residential building. Heavy rains started on Thursday evening in Wuping County, flooding streets with muddy water and partially washing away parts of some roads. The storm, which damaged crops, cut power, and destroyed 39 houses in the county, led to the evacuation of more than 1,600 people. Now, finally, in sports news, Charles Leclerc took pole position for his home race after a chaotic end to qualifying at the Monaco Grand Prix. The Ferrari driver, dominant throughout, ended 0.225 seconds clear of teammate Carlos Sainz. Leclerc, who was on an even quicker lap at the end before Red Bull's Sergio Perez crashed at Portia, was collected by Sainz and the session stopped. Perez took third ahead of teammate Max Verstappen, Leclerc's title rival, off the pace in fourth. Now, an overhead conversation on an aeroplane changed Britain Zambese's life. The former technician is now one of Zimbabwe's pioneering black soldier fly maggot farmers, rearing the fowls to produce affordable chicken feed for farmers. Now, just before we go, still in sports news, Champions League final match between Liverpool and Real Madrid is still goalless. The match is in progress. With that, we wrap up the news hour on Trust Television. You can watch more by clicking the subscribe button on our YouTube channel and also follow us across all social media platforms. I am Ayuba Ilya. Thank you for watching. Bye.